Okay, so we talked about monitoring. A bunch of you are monitoring. Once again, this is literally just our example of what we do. We are not, doing these massive studies. We're not getting out there and with, really precise instruments measuring all this stuff. We're out there to try and do as much management, practical and applicable management as we can. One way that we can, attempt to measure treatment success is by establishing monitoring plots. And it sounds like a lot of you guys are doing it. A lot of it is probably similar, just depending. You can either do a circular plot and have like a 12-foot diameter is what we've done, or just your 1 square meter plots. A lot of your stuff you guys probably are recording, but you establish your plot center, you measure your percent coverage of invasive species that you're looking at there. Something that we do that is kind of, we developed about 4 or 5 years ago, because it's, we can take pictures all we want, before and after pictures are great, that's fine, but then having some sort of, even a small quantifiable count. So we've started doing stem counts within like a 3-foot radius of the plot center. At least that's some sort of tangible way to say, okay, our biomass is obviously decrease or increase within that plot center beyond just a photo, plot. So it's very basic, it's easy, but it's quantifiable for some of these treatment successes, and it's, we can use these findings to justify or adjust our management strategies if something's not quite working based on these monitoring findings, or if it's working well, we can expand that. So this is just something that, and as we're out there and we'll do a monitoring plot establishment together, as we're out there, if you guys also that are doing monitoring, when monitoring plots, throw in your 2 cents, because this is not the perfect one, right? This is just something that we've used. So if you guys have other practical comments, we'd love to hear it, because as we mentioned, we don't have the time to be out there spending a half an hour doing a monitoring plot. We're out there to actually do more management. And if we can add this on and it takes a couple minutes, and we have that ability, then that's what we're going to do. So we will be doing monitoring plot when we go out into the field. Any questions on monitoring plots?
Just one quick thing is that this is awesome, by the way. This is great what you're doing. One thing to consider is you're not just interested in killing the plant, you're looking at what's coming back. So if you don't have any specific, you want to make sure that the native stuff is there and not something else.
Yep. Yeah, and native inventory, invasive inventory, if you're able. And a lot of times, we try and educate our technicians as much as possible. They're not going to know what type of a grass or a moss or anything like that. However, just at least getting that baseline of, okay, there's mosses here, or if there isn't a species that they are able to identify, then awesome, that's great. But yeah, getting that inventory on there, and of course the photo. Recording, there's plenty of room for comments exactly where you're taking the same picture, you're multiple times a year when you're revisiting, and then the following years, however long you're planning on doing monitoring.
Okay, now the phone ring. So, like I said, we're going down to Ashman Bay today. So, just real quick walkthrough of our 5 steps or whatever's on here. So, for this, we're going to look at some knotweed down there at some point today. So, our scenario is, actually someone, they called, but they put it in MISC too. Citizen. So, landowner called and said they put knotweed into MISC at Ashman Bay. So, kind of step 1, is this a priority for you guys? So is the site a priority, is the species a priority, is this something you even want to work on or address, or does this fall into your maybe next year pile because you have other priorities over this? So is it a priority, and if yes, then do you have the funding to carry out the treatments? Step 2 would be going out to verify the report. A lot of people don't know what they're talking about with knotweed and other species, so going out and actually making sure it is what they say it is, and doing a survey of the site to make sure that you document it and that they have the right acreage and things like that.
I would throw in that any time you can cut out of that by saying, oh, is it possible for you to send me a picture or bring me a sample?
Yes.
That is very
so key, because otherwise you'll spend so much time on it.
Unless it's not we donuts, for example.
Yeah,
Usually you get people that are like, well, I can print my camera pictures next week
Yeah.
and put it in the mail, and it's like, no, I'll just drive.
Right, but more and
Yeah.
more people do have phone cameras, not everyone
Yep.
obviously, but the more that you can
Yes.
do that.
Yep. Very easy. Thanks for ruining my situation scenario.
Okay.
So go out there and do your survey. The next is looking at who owns the property. So Sault Ste. Marie actually had, or what county is this? This county actually has.
County doesn't. Sault Ste. Marie City Limits does.
Sault Ste. Marie actually has this online, so able to go and pull this property up. So this is city-owned property. This is something that Nick already has permission to work on. So you're going to go work with that organization to get their permission to do these treatments and give them all the paperwork. What paperwork do you have to give them? They sign their permission. What do you have to give them?
Risk benefit
There
form.
you go. And then now would be what treatments are we going to use and why. So when we get out there, this is kind of what we're going to pick up. So we're going to go look at these sites. So before we go, we're going to split into groups.